Like that wine menu. Does anyone really know what they're looking at when they look at a wine menu? Because if you do, you're an alcoholic. Oh yeah, I had 3 of these for breakfast. I always make the mistake of asking for the waiter's suggestion. So that wine would complement your meal. Yeah, I'm going to go with the $5 bottle. That complements my wallet. I am always asking the waiter's advice, which is odd, It's like, hey, you don't know me, but what do you think I should eat? Is it time for a haircut? It's up to you because you're a stranger. And I'm weird. You ever have the waiter strongly recommend something? You feel kind of guilty not getting it. You're like, yeah, I know you really want me to get that, but I'm just going to get what I want. Because I'm still paying, right, pushy? Why don't you back off? But we should be nicer to the wait staff. Yeah. It's an odd relationship we have with the waiter. Occasionally the waiter will tell you their name. We never give ours. They're like, hey, how you doing? I'm your waiter. My name's Phil. Yeah, I'll have the chicken. Why don't you beat it? You never really use the name. I'm out of water. Phil! Phil! Woo! Philly! I do feel uncomfortable when the waiter's doing the specials. That's kind of a semi-conversation. They're always like, our specials, we have a sea bass, which is broiled. I'm always like, am I supposed to say something? Pass! I exert so much energy acting like I'm interested in this. Oh, that's a soup of the day? Oh my God. I'm not getting any of this crap. Here's a clue. If it's that special, put it on the menu. Oh, that is so true. I do love going out to dinner. I always get the appetizer, because the appetizer is just an excuse for an extra meal. Let's see, I will start with the 80 buffalo wings. And do you have a low-cal blue cheese? 'Cause I don't want to fill up too much. It would be embarrassing trying to explain what an appetizer is to someone from a starving country. You'd be like, yeah, the appetizer, that's food we eat before you have our food. Yeah. No, you're thinking of dessert. That's food we eat after we have our food. Yeah, we eat tons of food. Sometimes it's so much we just stick it in a bag, bring it home. You ever get the doggy bag? You're like, no, put this in a box, in a bag, and I'll bring it home and throw it out tomorrow. That is so true. That's weird. Parenting is about sacrifice, right? Some big, some small. Do you know how many horrible kids movies I've seen? In the theater. I've voluntarily purchased multiple tickets, and sat through absolute garbage. Objectively bad movies. Like, I didn't need to read a review. I didn't need to watch a trailer. Nobody asked themselves, like, I wonder if The Smurfs is a good film. It's not. They tried to warn us by calling it The Smurfs. I have 5 children. I've been going to horrible kids movies for 15 years. A decade and a half of torture. And the hardest part, the self-censorship. Because after you sit through a movie like Trolls or My Pretty Pony, if you're a normal adult, you need to turn to someone and go, well, that was horse shit. But you can't say that to an 8-year-old. So you just ask, hey, what'd you think? Yeah, I hope they make another one too. And they do, they make 5 more. And you sit through each of them just thinking about alcohol. My father would have never sat through a horrible kids movie. On the rare occasion my dad took us to a movie, we were never consulted. We didn't know what movie we were gonna see. He didn't know what movie we were gonna see. It was understood that when we got to the theater, he was gonna pick a movie, buy tickets, and we were gonna walk in immediately. Didn't matter when the movie started. That was the beginning of the movie for us. We'd walk into the dark theater, sit down, watch the last third of a movie. The lights would turn on, people would leave. We'd just sit there trying to figure out what the hell we just saw. We might ask each other, like, how do you think the movie starts? Then a new crowd would come in, the lights would turn off, the movie would start, we'd watch to a certain point, then my dad would just stand up and leave. and we'd follow him out. That's how we saw movies as a family. And I kind of miss it. Often it felt like we were just helping my dad establish an alibi. I couldn't have killed that drifter. I was at the movies with my kids. I do wish we could have seen The Sound of Music as a family with my father. You know, just halfway through The Sound of Music, my father stands up, starts to leave, followed by his 6 blonde children. Everyone in the theater's like, wow, that family didn't like it when Captain Von Trapp tore up that Nazi flag at all. That joke was even funnier when everyone hated Nazis. Right? In Finland, I was invited to take a sauna. I was also invited to go cross-country skiing. And all I could think is fun illegal here? What kind of antidepressant do you have to be on to enjoy cross-country skiing? I can't believe cross-country skiing's even a sport. Hey, you know that awkward part in downhill skiing where you're trying to get over to the lift? What if we just did that? Woo! This is fun. And to turn around, you know what? Don't turn around. Let's go across the country. People that work in hospitals are truly amazing people. They are so nice and supportive. It makes you suspicious, right? Are they stealing the drugs? They're a little too excited to be around sick people in pajamas. And when I say sick, I'm not talking about the positive slang, right? Because that's part of our language, right? That jacket is sick! But you don't want a medical professional to be like, your test results are sick! I mean, let me clarify, you're dying. It's gotta be hard to work in a hospital. That hospital lighting, everyone looks sick in that hospital lighting. I walked in, they're like, we should get you to the ER. I'm just here to see my wife. Well, you have jaundice. See, oh my gosh, I have jaundice too. If you don't have kids, here's a story which embodies the joy of parenting. I have 5 children, so I try to do one-on-one time with each of them. That way I know I've met them all. Last February, I took my then 10-year-old son for a walk. We walked our dog. And before we left, I said, hey, it's pretty cold out there. You might want to grab a coat. And he's like, I'm not wearing a coat. That's stupid. You can't make me. It's like, fine. You don't have to wear a coat. So we went for the walk. And as we turned to walk back, he looked at me and asked, Dad, can I have your coat? And I didn't hesitate, right? Because being a parent is like being a psychic who's constantly correct, but always ignored. Right? All day, every day, parents are like, let me look into my crystal ball. Ooh, it's pretty cold out there. You might want to grab a coat. You're fat. Oh, if you stay up late, you may be tired in the morning. You're bald. Ooh, I foresee economic hardship when I kick you out of this house. It's not their fault. Children don't understand consequences. Parents understand consequences. They're called children. Children are walking, talking consequences. That's why every parent occasionally looks at their kid and thinks, I know I shouldn't have gotten wasted that night. It is wild how different the childhood my kids are having from the one I had. Like, I remember when I was 10 years old, my mom used to send me on errands. I remember one time, she sent me to the grocery store with very specific instructions. I walked a mile and a half to the grocery store and I did what I was told. I went right up to the cashier, handed her $10 and said, my mom sent me here to buy a carton of cigarettes. Merit Ultralights. The cashier looked at me and asked, how old are you? And I said, I'm 10 years old. She said, you're a good boy. She complimented me, gave me the cigarettes and my change, and I walked home smoking the entire way. We used to say
send children on errands alone. But now, after 25 years of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, we don't feel safe having them open a refrigerator. I used to like the independence, you know? I mean, I was definitely scared here and there. I was mostly afraid of grown-ups. Grown-ups were just these evil giants that somehow all knew each other. I know your father. How? I held you as a baby. Why?
My friends growing up were afraid of my dad. You know, my childhood best friend to this day is still afraid of my dad.
My dad's been dead for 30 years. My kids, their friends, they view me as an Uber driver. And they've requested a silent ride.
Can we turn down the music, Jim?
I'll kill you.
I know your parents.
I'll kill them too.